Our rotation generally is 2 years of the diverse ley mixture. Sometimes that stretches to 3, depends on the field. We then have 2 cereal crops, followed by a green manure, which then followed by beans or oats or beans. The end of the rotation is sort of flexible and depends on the field. We're looking, where we put the green manure, we're looking to change that to a living mulch so we can have the green manure as part of a crop. And it's something we've tried in the past with mixed success, so we're going to continue experimenting with that and see how we get on. So this pasture's been down a few years now, so 2 years old. It's due to be ripped up this summer. So it's solid from having been grazed by the cattle, but shouldn't be compacted. So there's a good sound to the soil. Oh, that's a good. So you can see a lovely roots development, a little friendly worm there, and some more worms in the bottom, which is great. So that's great. You can see all those roots look pretty active. Another worm there is a green one. So that looks great, just as I would hope. And here's this is a classic example of our diverse ley mixture with half of it's herbs and grasses, and you can see plenty of grass here, and half is legumes. And there's a variety of legumes here, which aren't so easy to pick out this time of year, but you can see a smaller leaf, white clovers there, and the bigger one, these bigger leaves will probably be red clover. And herbs like the yarrow, chicory there, ribwort, plantain. They all work together in different ways, and that's the beauty of them. They all provide a different function, or fulfill a different function, provide a different service. So the chicory is an anthelmintic that we were talking about earlier, now I come to think about it. But it also has a wonderful taproot that goes right down to the chalk. The chalk varies in depth here. Up on the hill it would be sort of 6 to 9 inches deep. Here it's probably 18 inches to 2 feet deep on some of the heavier land down in, we call it a valley, it's not much of a valley. Underneath the clay it can be several meters deep, so it varies depending on the position on the farm. So these will go right down to the chalk, these roots, and I've seen in soil core samples we've taken chicory roots going right down into the chalk, several feet deep. Then the clovers, the red clover obviously has a good taproot, which also provides good soil biocultivation effect, as well as the chicory. Some of the clovers are shallower rooting, so occupy a different part of the soil. The herbs, interestingly, have a much deeper root system than I imagined, according to the Cotswold Seed plant root plan. I don't know whether you've seen that plan, but it's it's a really effective chart. And salad burnet and the sheep parsley that we grow has a really deep rooting system, which I hadn't realised before. And so they're both in here. I can't see any sheep's parsley at the moment. But that's another beauty of the mix, so that we get varying soils across the farm, but there's always a plant in the mixture for any soil type and any part of the farm. If you get a particularly wet part, there are species that particularly like the wet soils, and some of the thinner soils, there are species there that would like the thinner, chalkier soils. This is oats here, winter oats, which were planted in early October. Let's have a look at this. So compared to the ley field, you can see the fork just goes straight in this. And just lovely root structure here. This was actually a green manure last year. But you can see lovely roots and structure of the soil. This is pretty heavy soil. There's a lovely colour to that. Very happy with how that's looking.